is Lauren Latchley with Lauren Talks Homes. And today we're going to be discussing renting versus buying a home. Both have their pros and cons. And so let's just talk about the benefits and risks of each. Okay. With renting a home, there's a little bit of flexibility. You can choose to rent for 1 year. You can go month to month, maybe choose 6 months, a 2-year option, just depending on what terms your landlord will allow. So that's something that is really different when you buy a home. When you purchase a home, you're locked in for 15 years or 30 years. Unless you decide to do something else with your home, but you don't have that short-term flexibility as you would with the renting. Also, with renting, there's less of a financial risk up front. When you purchase a home, there is like a down payment requirement, and so you're responsible for that. Although there are down payment assistance programs available to some people, so we'll talk about that another week, but I just had to throw that plug in there. But with renting, there's, not that initial financial risk, or not as large as with buying a home. You maybe pay a deposit, pay a pet fee, a pet deposit, maybe a month-to-month pet fee, something like that. And then you go from there. If you have bad credit, you may pay your first and last month's rent or whatever the requirements are for that particular location where you want to move. And that can be a different, depending, on the apartment or house that you're leasing. Now, speaking of pets, when you buy a house, you have that big Doberman, you can bring him in, or, that yapping poodle, whatever you have, you can just bring him onto your house. It's your house, and it belongs to you. Now, there are HOAs that may, not permit certain animals, so you always have to be cognizant of that. But with an apartment or something like that, it's at your landlord's discretion. They may not allow dogs or cats or whatever, so we have our furry friends. We don't want to just get rid of them because we're moving somewhere, right? So that's kind of a con when renting. Now, a fun thing for me, well, not fun, but convenient thing for me when I rented was the ability to just call the front office and say, hey, I have a leaky faucet, or hey, the AC is not getting as cold as I'd like. Can you please take a look? Whereas now, there's no one to call in that same capacity, right? So when you own a home, then the maintenance is more on you. Now, unless you have a home warranty, and I usually recommend a home warranty because you have a little bit more, if something goes wrong, then you can call the warranty company and they can send someone out, and you don't feel as much as like you're in a bind, okay? So I usually recommend a home warranty, and you pay a monthly fee, or if you purchase a home, you can have that added in your contract, maybe get a home warranty for a year. So definitely, that's very, beneficial, and it kind of takes some of that stress away. There are tax benefits when owning a home, so let's not forget about that. And then when you own a home, you have the option to use it as income. You can purchase a home and use it as a rent house and gain income off of that. So you can't rent out your rental. Okay, well, I guess you could sublease, but you won't really be earning a lot from that. Okay, and then you also have the freedom to renovate and decorate. If I want to paint my walls purple with pink polka dots, I can in my home. It's my home. Whereas when you're renting, you have to ask the landlord's permission, and sometimes the landlord's like, no. So you're really at their discretion. So that kind of, that isn't as fun. Let's see. And then there's just the sense of home ownership. When you have a home, it's yours. So that's always a good feeling. You have your costs are more predictable with the home because it'll be pretty stable. And then I know some people may be like, well, I rent and my rent is pretty stable. And that may be true. You know, at the end of your term, they may want to change it just a bit, but it may normally stay in a certain range. And then for other people I've heard where they're like, oh, they went way up on my rent, I gotta move, or whatever, and that's really an inconvenience. So when you purchase a home, it's usually going to be, you know, pretty stable. When you rent a home, not so much. It may be stable sometimes, but then you may have something like Harvey happen, or Katrina, unfortunately, and then it's a supply and demand thing. So more people need apartments and fewer are available, so of course the rent amounts go up. So those are just a few benefits, pros, cons, and everything in between of renting versus owning a home. If you can think of any more, add them below. Let me know what you think, or let me know what you feel is best for you. All right, until next time, Lauren Talks Homes. Have a good one.